going to break down this hairstyle, understanding the deconstruction of the photo so that you can section your head and reconstruct the design based on the system to break it down. So then you enter into your updo appointment step by step and you know where you're taking it. Now, in this picture, she is standing with her chin down. So this height looks higher than it would be if her chin was up. So that's an important thing when you're looking at this with a client. A client may look at this and see, you know, that it's poofy, and then you explain to her, you know, honestly, when she lifts her chin, it's not going to be as high as you think it'll be. And that's an important factor, because if this balance isn't complemented by all the rest, it'll look flat up here and maybe too poofy down here. So it's important to break that down. Another thing I want to look at is where the poof is. When you look at where the poof starts, there's a few areas in here. So the poof starts here, and that is this section. Okay, then right here is another section. And then this dip is another section. So what that does is it teaches you how much hair to gather for this part, because if you gather too much for this, you won't have enough left for your dip. So we've got her fringe, and her fringe is section 1. Section 1 is always the front. Then we have 2 and 3 are the sides. So 2 and 3 are the sides on both sides. And then section 4 is the crown. Now, in some looks, like we did this one last week, section 1 is incorporated into 4, and 2 and 3 are drawn back here. 4 is incorporated with 1, and 5 is the bottom. So when you have them in your head, you know how to build. This section 4 is small, just a small poof, because we need all the hair we can manage to gather for all of this amazing volume. So I'm going to make this section right now, and that's section 4 in the back. So I'm going to take down and explain the sections. And this is what I would do in a real wedding party, is I would section her, and then I would know where I need to curl. If I spend 40 minutes curling the whole head, and in reality I don't need curls in the whole head, then now I am losing money. And I'm telling you, whenever I teach, it's always about profitability for you and the guest experience. And I want you to work fast and smart. So in looking at the photo, we have fringe in the front around her face. We have this dip here, which is this section right here. And we have this dip here, is this on the side. So section 2 and 3 are the sides. So this dip here becomes the side. Okay? So now let's go right in to preparing section 4, which is the poof and the crown. So you can see how we have that as the foundation. And then what is going on underneath here is there's a ponytail tracks. I call them a track. And then I'll show you how to get the volume. So section 4 is just this small crown section right here. And when I go in like this, it's very quick because I have the system figured out. It's very, very quick. So in order to just keep a very clean crown, I'm just going to section out a thin veil of hair so I can tease the rest and not have to do a lot of smoothing. So here's the smooth piece I brought back. I'm going to put my hand on the head so it stays where I want it. And I'm just going to smooth out that crown. Where this pinch is going to be, do a little twist and push it in. So now I have some nice dip. I have it short right there. I can look in the mirror if I'm at the salon and I can do a little bit of shaping. So when we shape and clean as we go, the client is happy because she's seeing something unfold and you are feeling confident. Not taking too much hair into your bobby pins. Just stick my finger in there, let it close. I'm going to make sure I get all the little bits. And this is where practicing and trusting the breakdown of the system, because this can feel tiny. And so now we're going to move on. So this is coming off of her neck here, but it's connecting somewhere under these flowers, right? And we got this. And so not all of it goes into the ponytail. Some of it is left out loose. You can see another little dip right in here. And so let's see what we can do to create that track down the middle. That's why I like to teach you to think through your updos and not just rely on a tutorial, because every head is different. All right. So we have to notice that we have plenty of hair here to bring back. Okay. And so we've got all this we can use in here. But if your client is fringed and layered, you won't have this. You will have to just rely on this. So as you're doing the consultation and you're thinking of the sections, you'll be like, oh my gosh, you know what? The tutorial did this, but my client was all layered. So I got to make it work like this. And maybe she's going to need to buy some ponytail pieces or some extra hair. And so that's why in updosystem.com, consultation is connected to the construction. So I'm going to gather this on both sides. And I'm going to add it in to the bits from my end. And so I just clean the edge. You clean your sections as you go. I'm going to put in a ponytail right here. Now I will say I don't get into products because every head is different. I can't tell you how to prep this head because your client's hair will determine the prep. So for this mannequin, she already had some curl from before, but she was quite frizzy. So for her, I did use this enhanced serum from Paul Joseph line. And it's got some carrot oil and vitamins, and it just smoothed things down for me. So now I'm going to do some pulling to get some of this design. And just want to kind of experiment, right? You know, some hair catches, some hair pulls nice. I'm just going to do some pulling to get some of this movement in here. So some of these dips right here, I want to try to get some of that to happen. Another row. And I'm just going to go in and add some fresh curl here. So now we've got some pretty waves in the ends. So we discussed that section 2 and 3 up here is this section. So right now I'm going to work on letting this section down so I can bring that across later. And I'm going to get this section. Now I already curled her fringe. Even though it's not layered, we're going to pretend that it is. I want to smooth this. I'm going to stand and I'm going to hold the hair in the direction it's going. Flat this way. I'm looking at the photo. I don't have to get too dippy because I'm up here, right? And so I'm looking. And you make your judgment looking in the mirror, working with your client. I'm going to come around and I want to make sure that I meet here in the middle so that we can add flowers in here up the crown. I'm running into those other pins. So by the time I get here, I really only needed 2 pins because I'm really hooking in to what has been there. I like to do so that you're checking in with each section. And so now we have the fullness that we made here, but we also have now some pieces that we can decide. This is where you are to take your client now and you say to her, all right, so if we want, because you have these pieces, I can incorporate them here, or I can make some extra curls that would be really pretty, a little different than the photo, but I think for your hair and your look and your gown would be stunning. This is when you step up and you are the expert and they say, well, my hairdresser went beyond the photo. She went beyond the photo and made it even better. And this is part of the complete system that I teach you how to do that for the client so that you are more than just the photo, guys, right? Okay? So let's clean up a couple more pieces. Because we have a system of sectioning and we break it down, all of a sudden your creativity is way more than you ever imagined. And that is the complete Updo system. It frees you up. Okay, just going to leave that one for now. We filled this in. Let's keep going. We still have these front dips. So now we have this to bring up. At this point, if she feels full and nice in there, maybe you want to bring part of that up, and maybe you want to bring part of it to here. I like that. Let's show the client the mirror. Hey Mary, I'm going to spin you around. You know the pictures, everything's up here, but I really love how that goes there. What do you think? Oh, that'd be great, Gretchen. Okay, cool. That's how you get the client involved in a positive way, an exciting way. And we can look. We can look with Mary and we can have a conversation. And you are free to make creative decisions. I looped that one right through. I'm going to go up underneath all that we made here. I don't need a whole lot, it's just a small section. Okay. And discipline. Come back to the other side, work side to side. Even if you know where that other piece is going to go, I just think it's a really good discipline to work side to side. We're going to bring another piece back. We had decided with Mary that she liked the idea of this one coming down to the second ponytail. So let's get that set for her. I'm going to leave out her fringe. Think about it being flat. Think about it being longer here, shorter here. Where are we headed? We're headed to the second ponytail. Make your way to the second ponytail. Look in the mirror with your client. Going into the second ponytail. Gonna grab it. Find the ponytail. She's right there. And this is also why I say Updo System uses less bobby pins, because of the sectioning and because of the ponytails. As I'm looking right here, she's kind of tendril heavy here and empty here. So this is where it's like, you don't want to freak out. Oh my gosh, the tendrils, no right or wrong. Let's just move a tendril. Maybe in order to get it over there, we got to feed it through. When you train your brain not to freak out, your creativity is unleashed. And that's the part where I talk about being a clarity coach and working in the mental health field, that when you can train your brain and for solution, not for panic. So that's that. And so let's take the very, very bottom, This is section 5 that we left out. We could, you know, this is where you guys know all your different tricks. You could do your flip over here. You could do, you know, whatever it is you feel like doing, because her hair will be different than the model. And, you know, does she want another area here for flowers? And, you know, you could do that thing, and you could do some of this. There's no right or wrong, guys. You are the master of this appointment, not the photo, because every situation is a little different. And maybe I like this coming through, so it sits on top. Okay? And so now I can have 3 spots for her flowers.